So Hytale had a recently big announcement for a big update on Hytale, and I'm one of those guys. I haven't recently been playing Hytale or keeping up with it recently, but I really want to get back into it and see what's really going on in Hytale and really get myself back into the game and seeing what they've added and what they're going to do in the future. I know they're going to be doing their new gen map update and stuff like that pretty soon, but I'm very curious on what they're doing with this big update. I've seen that they're announcing it and stuff like that. Spot Simon said it on Twitter, so I really want to see what it entails. So let's check this out. We're watching Quebec Corner, so shout out to him. So let's get into it.
Hytale has just released the biggest blog post in the game's history, revealing
Oh,
everything
really
you need
now?
to know
I've
about
seen
the
damn near
huge
every one
upcoming
pretty
Chapter
close.
1 update with over 20 clips of massive new gameplay features to go through. Things like boss fights, Goblin world events, rocket boots, boats, barrels, abilities, cosmetics, mini games, and lots more.
Oh, mini games are coming? Yes, please.
The main announcements from the blog.
Like literally, I like when they announced Hytale, like back I think 2018, if I remember correctly. I remember looking at it like, oh my god, this is like an RPG version of Minecraft, pretty much of that nature. And I'm a big RPG guy, and I'm a big survival guy too. And I literally saw, I'm like, oh, dungeons, building classes, mages. Like I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm fucking excited. This Minecraft was my favorite game ever. So seeing this being like a more RPG side of things, I'm fucking excited. So seeing that they're starting to add more elements now, I know during early access in the beginning, it was kind of somewhat. I'm not saying like bare bones. Obviously, they had to get the game back up and running and all that stuff. Buying it back from Riot was a difficult process, but they got the game up and running, and now they're just trying to get everything out that was supposed to at the beginning. So it's cool to see.
Please look out for a much deeper dive this weekend that covers everything in more detail.
Oh, there's gonna be more this weekend?
Confirms the original plan was to keep each chapter hidden until a proper reveal, but given the project's history, asking everyone to wait in the dark again doesn't feel quite right. So for chapter 1, we're going to show you some of the new content that we've been working hard to deliver. Let's start with the focus of chapter 1, the Goblin faction, which is getting a complete rework, as you can see in this.
Oh, these look cool.
This is because they're going to be the dominating force in the very first handcrafted dungeon that will be in exploration mode.
Oh, nice.
A multi-phase boss fight with this thing.
That generally looks interesting. I'm excited for dungeon boss battles. That was one of the things I was like looking forward to as a survival guy, especially that plays solo. Seeing that, I'm fucking intrigued as hell. But also, I remember playing in the dungeons and stuff like that. Like I find some of the smaller mobs not as like challenging per se, but the way more challenging that I would say than Minecraft. But I really want to see what they up their ante with some of these fucking things in this game and what they do reworks wise.
Tank of some kind. The dungeon itself is actually also showcased in this video here. Honestly, the size and the scale of the place alone makes me feel like I'm looking at World of Warcraft.
A little bit, yeah.
Like a bunch of friends in a world to take this on rather than doing it solo. We also see this tank turret thing outside of the dungeon displaying a few different moves in this video that you'll need to learn the patterns of to.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
There's a large charge up attack, the multi-directional attacks, and an area of effect type attack with stalactites dropping that are all signaled. Further down,
I love that. That give me some Dark Souls, a little bit of a challenge. Give me some boss patterns. Give me some things that I know, like I can just learn from, and I like will go crazy. I really wonder, like, the thing is, I hope that the boss one day drop is whether they do a rarity, like the chance of something dropping, or you guarantee drop every time you kill that person. I'm very curious on what they run with there.
Elite. One example is the Feast Master, which can charge, call reinforcements, and even damage the surrounding environment. The team say not every goblin wants you dead though. Some are friendly, and one of those runs a shop. You might even
cool.
Curious to know what this means? Maybe we'll actually get to trade some recipes in order to craft a turret like this ourselves. And whilst not all are aggressive, these next goblins certainly seem to be. The Goblin Breach is the first example of a world event where a kind of yellow fissure spawns a green portal temporarily with a pile of trash and goblins that start invading your world. According to the team, you can actually travel through this portal to visit the Goblin world, functioning kind of like an Orbis fragment. Much like those 3 fragments.
God, man, they're making this game even more alive than ever. Like this is so dope to see because this is what Simon and like the dev team behind Hytale was trying to like get. This is even not even, this is like their one stepping stone. This is not like not even their whole mind on how crazy this game was going to be and what it was projected to look like on release. And they're just picking up the pieces and going one by one on stuff. And this is one part of it, which is just crazy to believe that there's way more that we're going to get when there was a release, when it was not like absolutely teared down when bought from Riot. And like just seeing that, just now seeing this more makes me more excited to see more updates, more things going on, more things. And I just like, I am in love with this game, and I do come down to going back to these games very often. But I realistically would play this game for fucking hours. It's just seeing how long and this progression now, they're actually showing the dungeon and RPG elements. They're starting to show like the game was already alive as it is from an early access standpoint, but this is like a one stepping stone where like obviously you have these open world boss like open things that you can that just randomly spawn, and you can go into the world and do and go into those goblin world. Just gives it more exploration, more and journey of it, and an adventure. It's really
That
cool.
we've got in exploration mode right now, the Goblin world regenerates each time with new content. Sometimes stuff
That's
appearing that you
cool.
might never have seen before. Over time, as you loot this world, void mobs are going to spawn which force you out. Again, very similar to the Dreadwade fragment that is in the current game. And
That's
hearing
cool.
this to
Really.
me, it's kind of giving off an extraction type vibe. These world
A
events
little bit,
happen,
yeah.
you go in, you plunder and get as much as you can, and then you jump right out again. Apparently, world events may even happen within the world events, because things that are unique to that portal, like predators, you can apparently track and trap. Void assassins may hunt you down. There could be treasure chests that spawn enemies when you go for the loot, or even puzzles that lock off places that you cannot dig into with any other type of pick. They say they're only going to grow and iterate this list of things over time.
Dude, just
Goblins
imagine
getting
this is
more
like one mob in one world. There's multiple different mobs and different characters and different enemies that we face. So there's different factions that we are going to get. So I'm just like imagining what you're gonna do with world events depending on what enemy you're facing, what zone you're in. It's just gonna be really. It's gonna make it to where it's like there's so much stuff that you're gonna be able to do, from an RPG standpoint, but a survival standpoint, and just playing it during the first week of early access, I was having a lot of fun killing things, like building bases, like really embracing the journey throughout. And like every zone you go into during early access, it just gets more challenging as you get through. But now I think it's going to get a little bit more challenging, but a little bit more fun. And like, I think more weapons and more gear and more like a fucking like mage and wizard mindsets. It's gonna be cool.
advanced also means we'll be introduced to gadgets such as the rocket boots, which we can see in this video here. Apparently, they're also
That's
planning
cool
to
too.
introduce a mechanical hook shot functioning essentially like a grapple, which we can see in this image, as well as
Oh
providing
man,
concept art for a glider, mining drill, and spyglass, which
bro, give dude the goblin items are drill. The drill is going to be a massive thing. It, depending on like, especially for helping, if they do it to where it's like there's certain rarities you can't grab, but if it's like, oh, I need to grab, for example, brick or like cobble, or I'm going off of Minecraft terms, sorry, and like wood and stuff of that nature, and it's you get it faster depending on that. It would just make people that build stuff in like general, it would make it 10 times funner. The grapple, the fucking jetpack or whatever you call it, like the jumpsuit. There's so much like cool little things that they're constantly adding to make the experience even more fun, especially PvP, man. Imagine you're in a PvP server, someone's with that shit, and you have a glider, and someone with a fucking grapple just grabs towards you. Like there's already cool weapons and abilities in the game already. It's just
all be things that
it's
the
gonna
goblins have either
bring
crafted
PvP to
or
another
we've been
level.
inspired to craft, having seen their inventions. And whilst we have to wrap up the goblin stuff now, you can rejoice as the most asked for feature since
Yeah,
Hytale
boats.
has now been
I remember
showcased.
like, oh my
Yes,
god,
that's
I
right,
couldn't.
we're finally getting boats, which
Good
from
to
the
see.
looks of it flow way more smoothly than I actually assumed they would. I know this one has got those explorer player types very excited. Imagine eventually even fishing from one of these. Moving on, you will now be able to pick up and throw different things like chests and explosive barrels. With this type of carrying system, the team can add items and
That's dope.
resources that would otherwise be too heavy or big to fit in a regular inventory, making the actual act of getting them home pose more of a challenge, which I really like the idea of. This is a feature that will be coming to Hytale in the next 2 to 3 months according to the timeline that they've set out at the bottom of the blog post.
Okay.
Next, the big combat changes that Simon was teasing have been revealed as a rune system, or at least part of it is that. In short, you'll be able to equip different types of runes that give your avatar new active combat abilities. For example, just ability runes which change the ability itself, modifier runes that change an ability's effect or behavior. For example, a ground
Dude, I'm in love with this because like that's a good combination. If you have a certain weapon, you're like, oh, I want a fucking shocking ability, but I also want an ability that can also use fire too as well, or like water. It would be a cool thing to see, and I'm wondering how they're gonna implement that between each weapon. It's gonna be very interesting, and I really hope they add more things like this in the future. So this is gonna be coming out like in the next couple months or so. So we're gonna constantly see crazy amount of updates and more refreshing things on a constant basis. So my ass better be on this game damn near every other week because there's gonna be an update damn near like that if I had to guess.
The
So
lightning rune. They say that elements will actually react to each other, so you could soak a target with a water effect, then shock it with lightning, triggering a special water lightning reaction. So now we can imagine the elements essentially like a type system with weaknesses and strengths against each other. Given that, the next feature is utterly nuts to me, and for
create
some reason
combos
gives
with your
me
friends.
massive Magicka vibes if you've ever played that game. You will be able to create combos with your friends. So for example, shooting a fireball at a friend's tornado ability so that it becomes a flaming tornado. They also
That's
mention
actually really cool.
environmental interactions, so rain could get enemies wet, ice-based abilities could freeze water blocks, and fireballs coming into contact with poison barrels could make them explode into a toxic cloud. The team do clarify that what we're seeing here are sketches, not the list of abilities that they've decided to ship. The rune system will start extremely simple, and we'll be iterating on it quite a bit, but this is what we intend to build towards over time. The graphic here essentially shows that we can combine ability runes and modifier runes to get a bunch of combos and fighting styles. Quote, rune forging is a big part of where we're heading with this. Finding, crafting, and expanding your collection of runes should play.
So I think from a PvP perspective, if you can combo abilities, I know there's not defined line on what they're going to bring from a ability standpoint, but they're like sketches and their ideas on what they're going to be running with ruins and everything of that nature. I think PvP is going to be fun, especially if you're playing duos or you're doing, let's say you decide to do like there's like a game that's like Hunger Games or Battle Royale, particularly in those ruins you can find within the world, and you can attach those things and your friend can like, okay, let's combo this together, or we go ahead and do like a big server that's similar to like an MMO type of RPG where you go ahead and you go into this dungeon and everybody's like, okay, let's combo this together, let's like hit this. Like communication between players with combos would be really cool to see.
An important part in where you choose to explore, as well as how you choose to invest your resources in order to progress. Right now, we're putting this on 2 new dedicated ability inputs, E and R, sitting alongside the weapon's signature ability on the screen. For
That's
chapter
awesome.
1, we're going to start with roughly 6 ability runes and a similar number of modifier runes and grow them from there. Very cool to see, as I know a few mods and other servers have implemented a similar feature with this E and R ability system. It's great to see that Hytale have taken it one step further, adding this whole modular customization layer as well.
That's cool.
Moving on, Hytale seems to have now cracked glass, or well, they've figured out transparency is what I meant to say. Now promising multiple types of transparent glass windows, and this even
that looks beautiful. I love the customization,
which we can see here. A lot of UI is getting a rework. For example, there will now be a tab for chapters. Specifically, something very exciting in this image as well is that there seems to be rewards for completing chapter content. I mean, there was already very early speculation in my live chat that this could mean a way to unlock new cosmetics. There's now also going to be a compendium to showcase more lore and details about creatures you gain the memories of, and for
Oh, thank God. That was one of the things I saw, like I saw a big potential in, and I feel like a lot of the lore people in gaming in general, and they find the smallest details and get the biggest amount of information. So them constantly giving lore between every creature, every faction, everything about these characters, we will see a really in-depth perspective on each faction, each character, each enemy that we face for now on as they keep on updating this memory board. Because I remember like me finding a bunch of the characters, I was like, oh, it's cool finding this stuff, but seeing like more details on the lore of this world that we're in and everything of that nature will do a number for a lot of the people that I see that will be like really into the lore, and like you will see some videos on the full in depth on certain creatures, which would be very cool. And also with the chapters and everything, I know there's probably be plenty of chapters and cosmetics and stuff of that nature. So it's be cool to have stuff to do in the game that's outside of the regular gameplay experience.
general social features, all players will now have a player card, which can be customized with different borders, titles, and even a companion. This will be great for building your own identity and reputation in Hytale, and also gives a
I
reason
love
to
that.
show off cosmetics that you've earned or unlocked as well. Speaking of which, it wouldn't be a significant Hytale update without big additions to the avatar cosmetics
Please,
in general.
what we got?
Here we can see lots of new clothing, accessories, hairstyles, and even a goblin range to fit the theme of the update. We've really not seen new cosmetics in some time, so I
Yeah,
bet they've been
pretty
saving
much.
these up just for chapter 1, including
Like at the beginning, like I was literally so into the cosmetics. I was like, now that they're adding more and more, so now I'm gonna like try to create more avatars for people. At the beginning, I was like making Naruto, Ninja Turtles. I was making one like Luffy for One Piece. I was like trying to create cool and memorable characters from other games and other anime and other media. So I was like trying to do that. So them adding more cosmetics will give me ideas and more things, and love doing those videos. So I'm gonna constantly keep on doing those.
what I think is very cool, these new cosmetic particles, which will seem to apply to existing sets and new ones as well. Here
Okay,
there's
this is
corrupt
badass.
void flames and also these musical note particles. With all of this, avatars are being given a makeover in general as well.
Dude, I love that, dude. Oh my god, the little aura around those characters, they give you some cool stuff. I've always said RPGs, MMOs, and like kind of similar to Destiny. I'm gonna compare those two. That's a similar thing as well. I love games that has this crazy customization from a gear perspective, a cosmetics perspective. And when you walk around, you're like, oh, this person has this. This looks cool. And then this person has this like really rare, unattainable weapon or armor and stuff like that. And you're in those servers and people see that stuff. It's something that I love the most about the genre itself. Like obviously the combat and everything, but just like the sheer amount of like customization is just cool.
Well,
And I'm
for
glad
their
that they're doing
hands
this
and eyelash
more.
options, which are shown here, nice to see we'll be able to point in-game now too.
Please.
It does seem that the team really do want us to work on our avatars, probably before the eventual launch of this next feature, which I think
Mini
is
games.
genuinely huge. They've announced the minigames tab. The team have officially confirmed that they've built their first experience outside of exploration and creative, a collection of 14 minigames.
What
Now,
are they?
do
I know I
say
see a
that each
couple.
only lasts 60 to 120 seconds, but there's a huge variety in these, as you can see in the video, and that's the point, as it has allowed the team to learn and get to grips with minigame creation before devoting to much more in-depth experiences. Quote, a dedicated minigames tab is planned to keep it as simple as possible for players. Open Hytale, hit minigames, and be
And
in a
just
lobby
play.
with your
I get
friends
it.
seconds later. With both peer-to-peer and dedicated hosting. Long-term, we want persistent games, PvP games, and much more, but this first one is about exploring and building strong foundations. Modders
So I'm glad that they're going on the more simplistic side of mini games in general. So if they add, honestly, TNT Run is something that I've always loved in like Minecraft mini games. Hunger Games is probably going to be an option. I see a little bit of like first person shooter game modes that they're adding right now. But I think what they're going with is the more simplistic side, what he just said. And obviously, the people that are making the servers and making different games and stuff like that, that can be through servers and more creativity ideas. That like obviously we have like similar games, like an FPS game that I saw, like a couple of them that are like more in depth and more detailed. But I think they're gonna be more simplistic for right now, into they get more an understanding on what the fan base wants and everything. So,
And server operators will be invited to create minigames with us in the future too. More
oh,
details
cool.
to come. The estimated timeline for getting these initial minigames again is 2 to 3 months, according to the blog post timeline. One feature we don't have to wait for that is actually in today's pre-release is moving objects. This one is really nuts too, as far as parkour, in-game animation in general, and as you'll soon see, player maneuverability as well. Effectively, it
What?
allows players to interact with these
I know
moving
parkour is
blocks
gonna be
and carry
hilarious.
momentum when doing so. The platforming parkour here and this ramp, for example, which shows huge potential for possible maps and challenges, which you know we're undoubtedly going to see so much more of, especially as
I
now the
think
team have given us
tech
the first
is
look at the
eventually gonna come
in-game
into the
mod
game. I
browser
feel
that's coming
like.
in the next 2 to 3 weeks. As you can see from this preview, it's going to showcase popular mods, different category lists, all for you to click and play without leaving the
Oh wait, are
game.
we actually
Showcase
getting
popular
that
mods,
in the
different
server?
category
Hold on, are we
lists.
getting that in the
The team
browser?
give us the first look at the in-game mod browser that's coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. As you
That's
can see
awesome.
from this preview, it's going to showcase popular
I
mods,
actually
different
love
category
this.
lists, all for you to click.
As someone like I've been like personally playing Minecraft and constantly looking through mods or whatever. Same thing with Hytale. I've had like a really trying to see what new and upcoming mods that are really cool to see. I sometimes I even though I go look in the popular tab or I look into the more recent ones, and I try to look at gems. So seeing that there's like a mod browser inside Hytale, and with better label or categorization would make this a little bit more fun. So I'm excited to see the next 2 weeks on what this is going to even look like more, what people are going to add to it, and everything of that nature. I'm glad that they're doing it inside game browser. So like it's simplistic fucking modding, downloading, and everything like that for people. And it's going to make it a lot more fun for people.
Click and play without leaving the game.
Yeah,
There'll
that's
be
awesome.
a rating system and even a way to support different mod creators via their profile cards. Quote, please note that there will be no paid mods in the mod browser.
That's
In
awesome.
future versions of the mod browser, players will be able to directly support mods and receive unique cosmetics created by the official Hytale team in return. This should foster a positive environment whilst ensuring all mods remain free to access.
So they're going that route. Okay, cool.
Ecosystem over time so that our creators can earn income. Next up, the team uses the set of the Phantom Menace to brilliantly showcase their progress on cubic chunks, which for those who didn't know means we will be getting infinite world height. However, the team do say for design reasons we probably won't use the infinite height for exploration mode, but minigames and servers will make good use of it. Plus, they gave us this video showcasing that they're trying hard to integrate more realistic volumetric clouds and fog. This will pair well with the improvements to World Gen V2.
Dude, especially when you're in a very top area, you can see that. That looks cool.
Really laying the groundwork.
I love that
this.
aesthetic.
They say this is much bigger than the Goblin chapter. The initial version of the graph system is still being finalized, but we're already using it internally and creators can experiment with the features early in pre-release. We've doubled the size of the level design team working on World Gen and we plan to continue expanding it. Adding on to the environment, the world is going to feel even more alive with more colorfully animated animals like pigs and boars.
Dude, the pigs
The
are
team
so
say
cute.
birds
What?
will actually be able to sleep in nests, they'll flock in groups, land and take off if you get too close. Owls may even swoop down to attack small prey. I just love this addition, especially
Yeah, like giving like a bunch of different animals and creatures in the world cool animations, cool looking things that they would constantly do, especially what a bird would do is sit in their nest. So like seeing that and seeing owls like go in and swoop certain enemies, it will bring like a little bit more of like a world building, like it feels more real life, whatever, if you would like to say, or more fantasy, like that type of feel. And I feel like it's like it makes it more alive, and I'm glad to see that they're adding that little details. I'm excited because the pigs they're showing, the bird, like you haven't shown anything, the birds. I'm very curious to see what the wolves are gonna look like, what extra things they are going to do, and
because
things of
I
that
found
nature.
it a little bit of a nitpick that birds never landed and just flew in a circle constantly. We
Or
can see now that
foxes.
foxes can be tamed, they will stalk prey, sleep beside campfires, and even play with their owners.
Oh, that's
Beyond the
awesome. That's
traditional
cute.
wildlife though, they've also started updating the quebecs with new behaviors as well. The playful seedlings might now follow you around, as you can see in this video here, whereas saplings act as dutiful guardians of their community that nurture the plants of the Emerald Wilds. All
Oh,
factions,
that's
including the
awesome.
quebecs, will get full reworks in future chapters, but no complaints here for getting something small early. This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, they
I
almost
love
look
that.
like other players in game.
Like, I love that, like, they're literally making like every creature feel like they have a personality in the world, and feel like they're actually producing and doing stuff. Like my like crazy nit, like probably now you look at it, I never really saw it as a nitpick, but now seeing Hytale doing it, I kind of wish like Minecraft had made villagers have a little bit more of a personality between certain people, like certain categories of villagers and stuff of that nature. It like constantly it's very like NPC wise from a villager standpoint, which I get in Minecraft, but like it would be more cool to see like wolves or like zombie skeletons, or more like I would say more of like the friendly mobs like pigs or like cows and sheep and all of that nature. Like to have like a little bit more of a personality.
into
It'd
the
be cool.
quebecs the way that they walk around and plant the seeds. The team say this is the groundwork for making all creatures feel unique in their own way. Some of the stuff the
Yeah.
team touched on in the background and due for chapter 2 is the crafting rework, which totally deconstructs what we already know and reduces the number of workbenches being used, shifting more of the work into in-world activities like wood chopping and metal working. Quote, we also want the crafting areas themselves to evolve and expand over time, reflecting the
Yes.
kind of adventures players go on and the choices they make, so each space feels like their own. In the concept art, we can clearly see here quebecs and ferens acting as companions that the team say you can invite to your home to help you with these tasks and automation, apparently needing.
For me, this is a big W. I don't know, like shout out if you guys know like Power World, for example. I know that's a little bit of a little interesting concept because Power Word is a little a little different on how they use their automation, but at the same time, like if they make Quebecs and other characters be able to be like a little companion that can do simple tasks like crafting stuff for you, even like if they can have them mine certain things in certain areas, God, that'd be so good for someone that like, okay, I want to go do this, but I also need to do this project. Let me get my companion to go do something. That'd be
To
cool.
invest at least a few resources into making them feel comfortable at first, like some kind of reputation system. Quote,
Mhm.
we want you to feel like you can build a village with your companions. Each will
Please.
have their own traits and quirks, some better at tasks than others, with their own schedules and routines. It's clear that the team love the homestead side of the game and want to put more attention into it. As this is a chapter 2 feature, they say it will get its very own blog post explaining it closer to the time once VFX, animations, models, and tech are done. It's now also confirmed that the machinima tools will get a big update in the next 2 to 3 months, or maybe even sooner, because the team need them to record a teaser trailer for chapter 1. This video.
Yeah, like I constantly like at the beginning there was a guy that made a mod to where it can run kind of do like simple cinematics for like time lapses and stuff like that. I've always wanted to do that in game. I did that with Minecraft at times, but having Hytale to have something that they're working on even more, especially with this machinima tool at early stages, but if they make it way more like even more simplistic, or if there's a mod, I haven't been playing in the last like couple months or so, so I really kind of want to see where they go with this animations tools, and like this like the cinematic tools, the and like I'm just like excited for that in general because I know people that are very talented that could make beautiful things in Hytale, particularly with the coding and the things of that nature that they were kind of talking about. I know that's down the road, But I'm excited to see what else they add with this machinima tool, make it a little bit more easier or more understanding for
Show
others.
also very clearly highlights that they've built an in-game replay editor for recording and playing back your gameplay, which is absolutely massive for YouTube
Goated.
creators and
Yes.
anyone who's a fan of filmmaking and editing in general. Their
Yes,
timeline and
please.
keyframes, it all feels very responsive and modern. In a
Oh,
year or
this
two, I
is
just
right
know for a
now. This is
fact we're going to have some insane cinematics and content in this game, both vanilla and
I like that's what I've been asking for, not from like for me like if I'm in the world and I'm making something, like let's say for example, I'm recording a video and my recording fucks up. At least I have the gameplay to back it up in general. And also I'd be able to go back and also like literally sit down and like take a cinematic of a time lapse of me building something or me mining or some simple things from a creative standpoint. I'm happy for that they added this.
community
They're
made.
adding
The
this now.
asset editor that comes with the game has also had a massive update. Spectator and hardcore mode are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, which we'll touch more on in my
I love
larger
that for
breakdown of this
hardcore.
blog post in a few days.
Oh, that's gonna be so popular. Like I already know for a factor that like hardcore Minecraft is probably the one of the most popular things that I see on a constant basis outside of SMP or speed runs. So I know for a fact that in general that the hardcore series are going to be coming out pretty fucking fast right when they release that, and people are gonna go crazy with that.
Spatial music is now a thing, meaning blocks in the world are now able to emit music, and this music will fade as you walk away and sounds muffled behind walls. Meanwhile, in the background, you've been able to
That's
hear the
cool.
new track addition to the OST, Gaia's Lullaby, which is a beautiful piece.
Hmm.
Given all of this, I think it's safe to say the team have been hoarding a feature or two for this chapter, and now the cat's out of the bag.
I love to say this, man. Like I think Hytale sound like the environment, the sounds, the soundtracks. It makes it so fantasy vibey, but also like it feels like alive and like oh my god, it's like hard to explain, but Hytale does done a great job with sound design and soundtracks and music and everything of nature so far. Like I would fell in love with the soundtracks and what they were making within the game with the soundtrack and the music and just even the sound design. I was like, this is going to be really beautiful from a standpoint of walking around the world and hearing the music
We
stuff.
can spend a few weeks really deep diving into what all of these changes really mean, especially given that this blog post reveals the rough timeline for Chapter 1, as you've probably guessed by most.
Okay, so in chapter one will be next 2 months. The mod browsers 2 weeks, moving platforms 2 weeks, real the transparency with the glass that was scheduled for chapter one. Mini games in the next 2 or 3 months, so it's kind of similar to there. What else do we have? The mod browser we're getting early. The spectator and hardcore we're getting early in the updates. We're getting the moving platforms update 6. The cubic chunks, the tech and everything that's we're getting the most recent. The crafting reworks and everything of that nature. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be the chapter one is going to be the craziest update, especially like I want to see the companionship in this game the most, what I've heard. The mod browser I'm excited for. The crafting reworks, um like the actual Rune abilities. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be
Of the other features mentioned today, it's listed to be about 2 to 3 months away. So Chapter 1 could very likely drop around October if all goes well.
yeah,
The game only launched 6 months ago, so in less
true.
than a year, if Chapter 2 moves along quick enough, we could genuinely be playing a completely different game. The team say thank you
It
for
definitely
the support,
seems like
the
that.
feedback, and the patience. It carried us here. The team is heading back to work on the plan you just read, and I hope you enjoyed the tour. From the entire Hytale team, thank you. Hytale lives. If you want to get your own Hytale server, check
Facts.
out Apex Hosting using the link in the description.
Man, shout out Quebec Corner. I remember watching him on the like pretty much the like very beginning of Hytale and their announcements and things like that. He was making videos a lot. So seeing that his channel like is now where it is now is really cool, and seeing Hytale like live and like actually got bought out and Simon got it working, everything of that nature is like a beautiful thing because this was like back in 2018. I know I haven't been playing it recently, which is understandable from a lot of people's perspectives, but I fell in love with this game because For me, I'm a big survival guy. I love Minecraft very much. Like I used to play like a lot of survival games throughout my life, especially like MMOs and RPGs as well. Like I find like creativity and social aspects of games like these is so cool to see in general. And seeing Hytale become pretty much at the beginning of stages and but keeping up with it during every blog post to it being shut down, then being bought back by Simon, and then having the early access. And now we're getting to a point where it's starting to ramp up even more. Like month by month, we're going to see a bunch of different things and kind of what people were expecting, not really expecting. Obviously, got no early access, but before all of this stuff happening and getting closed down and everything, we're kind of like seeing now bits and pieces on what the game was going to entail. And this small little chapter was probably just like a 25% part of what the actual release date of the game or what on release what it was going to look like. So for me in general, seeing this, I'm very, very intrigued by this. Especially, I want the rework. I want the crafting rework. I want to see the companionship for Hytale, similar to Power World. That would be cool as hell. I'm also excited for the mod browser being in and on the fucking launcher itself. That's awesome. And also seeing that a lot of the characters and a lot of the stuff is coming more alive, like a lot of like personality beyond a lot of the creations from the enemies to different factions, especially the open world and the dungeons coming. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm very excited to see what they have in store next after this. I know they're excited for what's to come in Hytale, and I'm very curious on what you guys think in the comment section. What is one of the things you are mainly excited for chapter one, and what you guys see in the future, and what is also you're excited for the browser? I'm very curious in the comment section down below. As always, guys, this is Blaine. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.